Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an episode again of 10K Bets, this post-Super Bowl edition. Nothing too crazy here. We missed you guys, but with me, as always, we have Cam, we have Renz, I am Marlo. How the hell are we doing, boys? Cam, let's start with you. You tend to be the go-to here. You actually did pretty well in your Super Bowl bets, hey?
I did, surprisingly. I hit the fucking octopus.
Which is crazy. First time, I know this is like a sports betting based show. Would you call it that? Like, we're pretty stupid.
Yeah, allegedly.
But the fact that I've never heard of an octopus before, and I saw you in the pregame, you sent out your picks and it was like plus 1,400 an octopus. I'm like, that sounds stupid. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm not going to ask. And then Renzi boy sending gifts of just octopi or octopussies or
Octopussy.
Is that what it is?
There's no way.
Whatever.
It is to us.
It'd be funny if it was. And then Renz just sent gifts of octopi, pussies, and I was like, oh, whatever. I'm not part of this conversation. I'll continue on with my day. And then sure shit, it hit. So it's plus 1,400, right?
Yeah, plus 1,400. I unfortunately only put $10 on it, but who would have put more than that on there?
No, absolutely not. I feel like actually, you know what? I feel like Renz would do it. If anyone would put more money on it, it's Renzi boy, because he'd be like, oh, plus 1,400. What is $100 to give you? I feel like if anybody would do it, that'd be 3 couches for Renzi.
Yeah, I made a bigger bet on a worse or whatever. Continue, Cam. Sorry.
I could have had an even bigger night. I had Boston Scott first touchdown. I placed it before the game. I didn't even put it in the chat, and he just gets stood up at the 2, and then gets another carry and gets stood up at the 3. So that would have hit like $350, but
that was the one when it was his elbow hit like right before the goal line, right? Was that the one?
That was Gainwell. He got the carry after. And Jalen Hurts just QB sneaked it.
Just stuffed
3 rushing touchdowns because he's a fucking maniac. How is that man 24?
Wait, Jalen Hurts is 24?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm old. That's crazy to think about.
Was this his 3rd year in the NFL?
Yeah,
something like that. I think one of the craziest
the first
things...
year he didn't play. He was just like the backup because no one thought he was any good.
Well, one of the crazy. Well, benched in his in the national championship, right, for Bama.
For Tua.
For Tua, yeah.
Yeah, which that was like one of the main talking points on that. But I think one of the craziest things that I think I saw, and I don't remember if Veach put it out there or whatever, but the fact that Jalen Hurts is the first. I don't know if it said player or quarterback from Alabama. It might have been player from Alabama to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Like, that's crazy.
What?
To think about. Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone's going to hammer this and tell me I'm wrong. As a reminder as well, too, if you guys are on YouTube, you guys are on Facebook, please feel free. Tell me I'm a moron. Go to the comments section. Let it go. Hammer the like button like Renzi boy wants you to. Big like guy. But I'm pretty sure that stat was accurate, that not a single Alabama alumni has scored a single touchdown in the Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts was the first one, and then he ends up getting 3.
And a 2-point.
Yeah. Which is just crazy. Like someone's gonna have to look that up and tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I could have swore I saw that. Also, I know grievances is like a normal bit that we like to do as well too. I'm gonna throw Veach on a grievance real quick. Like, I don't know if you guys have them or have any or whatever, but Veach on a grievance. How many teams does that guy have? It's crazy. It's like, oh, I'm a lifelong Tom Brady fan. Oh, I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan. It's like, just fucking pick one, man.
Wait, what?
I'm convinced he doesn't even like the Bulldogs. Did you not see in the teams chat? He threw in a picture of himself with his Kansas City Chiefs hat on, and he said, "Lifelong since I was a kid fan."
Those people are weird. I don't like those.
Yeah,
people. Those people who they grow up here and even everyone knows that kid in elementary school is yeah, I'm just a Tennessee Titans fan. It's like, why? Oh, my dad grew up there. He lived there for 2 years. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter.
Are you slandering Bossman right now?
I'm not slandering anyone. I don't know what his backstory
kind of sounds like it.
But
I think you are.
I don't know what his deal with the Colts is. I'm not going to question it.
Sentimental story. Went to a game with his grandfather and fell in love with the Colts, and here you are shitting on him. That's kind of fucked up.
I said what I said. Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss man. I'm sure Peyton Manning had nothing to do with it or anything like that.
Now you're calling him not only a fraudulent fan, but a bandwagon fan on top of that too.
I said what I said.
I said what I said. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the Kansas City thing, I guess I kind of understand because didn't they used to do their training camp out of like Wisconsin, like out of like River Falls back in the day? Or am I getting that mixed up?
They did. The Vikings used to scrimmage them every year.
Yeah, and so that I get it. Like growing up, that was one thing that I was always like. I remember seeing like the banners on the streets and on the streetlights and whatnot of people saying like, "Oh, Kansas City." But I guess I get it. But still, it's just the fact that lifelong Tom Brady, Vikings fan, and then on top of that, Kansas City Chiefs fan. Like, come on, man, just fucking pick one.
Does it back to like the Chiefs going to Wisconsin? I've never understood that. Like the Cowboys go to California, the Saints went to West Virginia for the longest time.
Gross.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
To be fair, I look like a guy from West Virginia right now, like straight up
drunk pilot.
Yeah,
I'm a sailor,
like sexy serial killer.
Mickey. Yeah, which is a weird
sentence.
Place to take this. Sexy serial killer.
Is that
exists? Like I said, there's that one guy. I can't remember if it was Ted Bundy or whoever. He was like, that was his shtick. Like he just wooed women and then killed them.
Just put us side by side of me next to Ted Bundy, and then problematic.
If that's what it was, I don't know.
Hot. Yeah. I don't know. With the amount of chins that I have, there's no shot that I'm anything attractive. Oh, sorry. But coming out of the Super Bowl as well too. That was probably. I don't know how you guys feel. Like the high scoring game, it still felt kind of dull because like there wasn't. I don't know how you guys feel. I don't think there was necessarily super flashy plays. Like it was a great game. Like don't get me wrong, but like when you have two teams that are like that offensive juggernauts, I expected like big ass plays, and we didn't really get it. It felt like I don't know how you guys feel. Maybe I was just too drunk or whatever the deal was, but I didn't think it was that exciting in the Super Bowl.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was good. I mean, the ending could have been more, but
and I think that was a big part of it. To be fair, if they wouldn't have called that holding call on the Eagles at the very, very end there, like when there was still like a minute 40 left on the clock or something like that, I think that would have made the game much more exciting. Or yeah, it was a holding call against the Eagles because the Chiefs had the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so they would have had a minute 30 to drive down the field with no timeouts, I think, at that time, which that would have made it definitely a super exciting game. But I will say the game was definitely a lot better than that Super Bowl performance. That was terrible. I know a lot of people are like preaching that like if you didn't like that Super Bowl performance, a big part of it, people are saying you're racist, which is
why
I get that. Like there definitely are people out there that are just like, it should have been Chris Stapleton. But it was Cam with his mullet saying it should have been Chris Stapleton.
It should have.
But someone added in a photo of Cam over one of the guys that it's like that went after the Capitol, just like put his face over the guy with all the face paint. Super edit. But no, it was the thing is like even my wife, massive Rihanna fan, like she always has like her gym playlist is literally just like Rihanna and Beyonce. That's like all she rocks to. And even she was like, this is kind of fucking boring. Like straight up was like, this sucks. Like nothing's happening.
Like she's pregnant, so she can't do much, but like
correct.
I still feel like there could have been like an outfit change or like a change of scenery. Like they were on the same set. Like it was the only thing that made it like somewhat enjoyable is that she just has an insane amount of songs.
Every one of her songs are bangers.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think anyone knew she was pregnant. I think that was like the big surprise. And like me personally, I was excited to see her like dancing, running around. Like Cam said, a couple outfit changes, and she just kind of stood there.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, oh.
I mean,
it was still good. Like Cam said, she's got just bangers of songs, but
you can bonk me, but she looked fantastic.
100%. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Big time.
But all you had was her standing in that look out in that big red coat, and then all the marshmallows running around her. It's like, okay. It's all right.
I don't know. It kind of made me appreciate the Weeknd's performance. Like, granted, I don't know most of his songs. Like, he has like a few.
Weeknd's was like the worst Super Bowl thing.
No, I disagree. It was interesting, at least.
Rihanna's was so much better than the Weeknd.
That is bullshit. We're gonna have to put this on a poll.
Weeknd's was the second worst Super Bowl performance ever.
Who's the first?
Black Eyed Peas.
You know who is the best? Creed, fucking shredder. Did you guys are? I mean, Renzi, boy, you're old, but Cammy, you probably don't remember this. But you remember when Creed did the Super Bowl? They like had.
I don't think they ever did the Super Bowl. I think they just did a Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people are like.
Oh shit! I think you might be right.
Yeah, they never did the Super Bowl. You dumbass.
Shit. Yeah, my bad. Either way, all I can picture is that shirtless dude coming down in the ribbons, just full.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
The best Super Bowl I still think Bruno Mars is the best one ever, personally.
I hate Bruno
with
Mars.
the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was awesome.
No, well, the one was last year. It's not close.
Who was last year?
There was like Snoop Dogg.
That one was all right.
I give that. The only issue, like Cody, yeah, straight up, Black Eyed Peas will forever be. I'll have to go back and like watch it because I don't remember that one at all. To be straight up with you, but the big issue with the one last year, I don't know if it's like I show empathy for the people that were there, but like the one from last year, if you were sitting on the back side of that stage, you couldn't see shit. You're just staring at a giant white box. Yeah. It's just like the only time you got entertainment was the ones that were on the roof. The one you were talking about, the Black Eyed Peas, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, that one wasn't good. And I think a big reason why is because I watched it and I was like, none of their shit's plugged in. Like they're just fake playing instruments, and it kind of ruined the illusion of the Super Bowl for me. And then, of course, the Red Hot Chili Peppers came out afterwards like, yeah, the Super Bowl doesn't allow us to play live, like straight up. So they were putting on a show, but like, I'm just, okay, I can just put a fucking CD on. Like,
do you remember when Fergie sang the national anthem at like the NBA All-Star game that one year? And it went viral. You remember that, Marlo?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just listened to the Josh Duhamel interview where he talked about that.
Yeah. Think of that, and like that was the Black Eyed Peas halftime show, but like 5 times worse. It was fucking.
I don't remember. I've just never been a fan of Black Eyed Peas in general, so maybe that's why I don't remember it.
It was just a horrible night in general because the Packers won the Super Bowl that night.
I think the best thing the Black Eyed Peas ever did was put Justin Timberlake on that "Where Is the Love" song, and that's Justin Timberlake's a beauty.
I will stand by Chris Middleton needing to be the halftime show. That was the best national anthem I've ever seen in my life.
It was awesome.
I had goosebumps. I put my cowboy hat on. I was ready to fucking ride.
I don't know. I don't like anthem unders, and I was really surprised he didn't draw it out a little bit more. So, like, that was a bit.
It almost like
he confirm it wasn't under.
It was under. It almost, and towards the end, it seemed like he was like rushing it too. Like he 100%. Sounded like he wanted to twang it out a little bit, and then it was like over. It's like
he had money on it.
I think that might be it.
I'm sure his buddies did. I mean, it just seemed like, especially a country one, it seems like it's would have been more guitar, like twangy. I don't know, but I was pissed because I had the over. But whatever.
I'll say to be fair though, like I guess think about if you're in that situation, right? You're singing the national anthem. I doubt you want to be the guy that's like where everyone's like, "Fucking Christ, hurry up, man! Like we got football to watch. Like knock it off."
Yeah.
Also, what's up with the bullshit? So I'm gonna like probably get in trouble with this because I wasn't paying attention, and like maybe they played 3 songs, right? There was America the Beautiful, which is normal that they play the national anthem. There was a song before that. I don't know what it was for, but I was like, what the fuck? Why are we doing 3? What was that for?
Marlo,
stop. Am I going to get in trouble?
Stop. Yep. Stop.
All right. I'm done. I have no idea. It was shocking that we had like 3 songs. It just blew my mind.
We're going to move on.
All right, moving on.
It was a great 3 game. Let's move on to what bets did you guys do?
Must have been bad. I apologize. Because I need to stop right here. I legitimately turned on the TV at that moment, and I was like, "What are we doing? What's happening?" So, clarity, need context here. But I did end up losing a fuck ton of quite a bit of money on the Super Bowl as well too, and it's my fault because I talked about how I want to do moneyline marbles again, where I just throw my bets and make marbles, make my decisions for me. And I didn't do it. I decided to go with my gut and my heart, and I ended up fucking blowing it and betting on a bunch of shit that was just terrible. I needed the Chiefs running back, Manny Pacquiao. I needed him to get 2 receptions, which I thought would be a lock. They're going to utilize him in the throw game. Instead, they used Jerick McKinnon for any sort of like dump passes, which was super heartbreaking. But it did win on the Chiefs bet, so not bad.
I think that you can tell, though, that Pacheco's going to be a stud.
He is going to be a stud. 7th round pick, too, out of fucking Rutgers. Who'd have thunk?
Yeah. Well, let's just hope he doesn't follow the footsteps of a fellow Rutgers running back, Ray Rice. He's like the last Rutgers player I can remember.
Yeah. No, I'm high on Pacheco, and that was my one, but I got him to win the Super Bowl MVP at plus 5,000. I put $20 on that.
That was crazy.
That's just a good value. He had like 80-some yards rushing on like 12 attempts and a touchdown. And then if they would have thrown him the ball, he would have had a chance. But it just sucked, especially with the receptions and any bets you had on the Chiefs offense. They barely had the fucking ball in the first half. So, I mean, it was just a tough – if you had any Chief offensive player props, it was a tough go.
I had Chiefs, like most plays ran, and that was fucked within the first quarter.
Yeah, no, that was fucked. It was not good.
But I'm just happy they won because fuck Philly.
I was super disappointed because I like to be a bit of a clown, as you guys can tell. And I threw a bet on kickers during that game because why not, right? And I knew I was fucked as soon as the only kick in the first half, or I guess it was maybe the second one, or first one was Harrison Butker just doinking it off the post. I'm screwed. That's the end for me. I needed 3 total like made field goals, and as soon as he doinked that one, I was like, it's over. Like, and especially because fucking Sirianni, little scumbag, little rat, just kept going for it on 4th down. I hate you. Stop it. Like, I get it. Like, for other bettors, like, that makes sense, right? You're super hyped for that because, like, oh, we might get a touchdown or whatever. But for me, the one loser, probably the only loser who bet on kickers in the Super Bowl was super heartbroken. That was incredibly disappointing.
The one that pissed me off the most was the fucking Gatorade. It doesn't even make sense.
What was the color? You said it was
purple.
Purple's a great pick. I honestly probably would have bet purple.
But it should have been red.
Yeah,
red is the worst when you're running. You ever had fruit punch when you're fucking running?
I'm just
like
saying,
that was a big mistake we used to make as kids.
It just makes sense.
Red Gatorade is also you had to like almost drink it out of a fucking straw. I'm like, because you drink it and then it gets like you got that red stained lip. It's gross.
Wait, drink.
How old are you? You toddler? Dude,
yeah, growing up, I just pretty much dump it on myself. And
my son could straight up drink Gatorade, not have that issue. But you're
red Gatorade.
Like, yeah, he's 4. Renzi boy's out here spilling all over his chest.
I am. No, red Gatorade's not the move. But I bet on orange. I thought it'd been orange.
I think if we were to do a rankings of like worst Gatorades to drink, like when doing athletics, like from like a throat perspective or like a feeling perspective, I feel like the top 2 are yellow and red. Like they're fucking terrible for you.
Yellow's fire. I love
yellow is delicious, but I don't think when you're running around sprinting and doing all that shit, you want to drink yellow. Your throat gets all phlegmy.
No, you don't want like the dark blue one. That one's like heavy. I don't like
that. Might be blue. 3. Yeah, I feel like
the dark blue one. If it wasn't sweet, I'm convinced that's NyQuil.
Yeah, it's like super thick. I don't know. The light blue is really good, but dark blue, no good.
No, we should do a power rankings, a Gatorade power rankings. Just
but is it Gatorade or Powerade? Which is better?
Gatorade.
I don't really give a shit.
Powerade.
Can I say Monster? just go off the cup. Which reminds me, I got hockey tonight, so that's why I'm trying to like mellow out because we have a goalie who's like 19, just chugs Monster in net like a fucking psycho. It's crazy. He like literally fills up his water bottle with Monster. I used to have that. We used to have that with one of our goaltenders I was playing with, but he would do it with Hennessy, which is bonkers.
Have you planned their funerals yet?
Yeah, fucking. I don't know how he survived. He would get by.
Goalie with Hennessy?
Yeah, shout out Cotter, you fucking lunatic.
Jesus.
I don't know. He doesn't play anymore. That might be why.
Could be.
His kidney's shutting down. So
he's in the fucking hospital.
And outside of that, the Minnesota Wild, like not to transition away from the Super Bowl. Do you guys have any like big points or anything like that with the Super Bowl? I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Like I said, high scoring game, great. A little bit dull for me, but I don't know.
My biggest takeaway, it was a great game. I won some money. But I was sitting there at the end, like during the confetti, and I was thinking to myself, the Vikings will never be here. Like watching those two teams play, I'm like, the Vikings, as good of a season as they kind of had, weren't even fucking close to either of those teams. And I was like, even if we add people or change, we're not going to be here anytime fucking soon. We suck.
Yeah. Can I say that, like, I don't want to out myself as a stoner here, but look at me. But you were thinking to yourself, like, oh man, the Vikings never be. You know what my thought process was when the confetti was raining down? I was like, that was a fuck ton of confetti. That's like too much confetti. It was thick as shit. It was going to slip and fall. Like, that was my whole mind. I was like, whoa, that's dangerous. And you're like, Vikings. You're a real sports guy. I'm just like, oh, man, that's a lot of.
And Andy Reid was saying that he could kiss the fuck. Who was it? He's like, I could kiss you right now.
That was great. Yeah, all the time. Andy Reid's like, my wife. It's funny. My wife just discovered who Andy Reid was. She said she sent me a photo. It was something goofy. He said something about getting like burger or some shit like that because that's what Andy Reid does. He just yugs burgers. But she sent me a photo. I was like, Andy Reid's the greatest like person in the entire world. I told her, I was like, he lives his entire summers in just Tommy Bahama shirts, just like straight Hawaiian cargo shorts. Like, and I mentioned as well, don't know if you guys remember this, but they had like when they go into the summer, right, they'll get all the coaches together and they'll do like the rule changes. They'll like break it down for them, everything like that. And then they'll take like a group like coach photo. I remember, I'll have to like pull it up and see if I can find it again, but it's all these coaches like looking really nice. You have Belichick just doing his own fucking thing like he normally does. And then Andy Reid is just in a Hawaiian shirt, just gold.
Yeah.
He's the
and like cargo shorts. It's awesome.
Did you hear what he said? Because they're playing in Germany next year. So someone asked him, he's like, what do you think about playing in Germany next year? He literally just said, I can't wait to get a bratwurst.
Yeah.
Imagine. You know, to be fair, I think I would be that same way. Like, yo, bratwurst could be sick though.
Yeah.
Get that shit where we're at.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Did you hear Terry Bradshaw when he was handing them the trophy and he said, "Oh, waddle on over here." It's like, oh man. It's like, okay, Terry.
Let's cancel Terry now. He's dead to us. If you're gonna slander Andy Reid, you're fucking dead to us.
When like you could tell Andy Reid was like, Jesus, but like he's such a cool guy. He's like, okay.
Whatever, man. Another one. Let's go. And then, of course, the storyline of the Kelsey brothers. I was really praying that Jason was going to get a catch in the end zone or just any sort of catch in general. Like, somehow. It would have been fucking unbelievable. I remember that prop was hilarious when I first saw it. It was either Travis or Jason touchdown. Like, I was like, yeah, hammer that, first off. That's the easiest pick of my entire life. But
a lot of people are shitting on Travis for, like, just, like, going off after the game. Like, I don't get it. Like,
shut the fuck up.
Super Bowl. Like, I would go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, people thought that they weren't as good at the beginning of the year, but I really don't think nobody was saying that they were going to win the Super Bowl. So that was a little like, people thought you were going to win the Super Bowl. You probably shouldn't say that. No one thought.
No, it's all just because they got rid of Tyreek Hill. But
yeah,
I mean,
which, to be fair, massive piece. And I think the one thing that Kansas City had going for them, like, extremely well, is the amount of rookies that stepped up and just balled out this year. Like, I think that's a big reason why the Vikings will never be there, is because I think we draft okay. I don't think we do it bad. I don't think we do. I guess that we don't make any big mistakes drafting, but our rookies get hurt or we don't give them the time of day. Granted, new offense, all that stuff too. I'm thinking Zimmer times where he's just like, yo, fuck this guy. I know I picked him, but he's dead.
Like, it's impressive they won the Super Bowl, and then in the Super Bowl, obviously they didn't have Tyreek Hill, and Valdez-Scantling and Smith-Schuster were literally just like not there. Like,
which that was super upsetting. I had Valdez-Scantling for 2.5 catches, I think. I don't think he got 0.
It was Kelsey, Pacheco, Tony, and McKinnon, and it was great.
Tony. We talked about that in the group chat. Oh, look, it's the emergence of Tony. Yeah, until he stubs his toe in week 2, like, and then he's out for 6 weeks. Like,
yeah, no shit.
Like, he had a great game. That's awesome. Good for him. You guys keep the ball. Good for you. But you're just gonna get hurt in week 2. Like,
he looks like a fucking lizard.
Yes.
Does he?
Yeah, he looks like Randall from Monsters Inc.
Crazy. But I mean, no week will match up to what we'll bring Sammy Stats on here on Thursday, but that dude was living this weekend. He was at he doesn't really document it very well, and I think he should, because Sammy Stats is probably one of the more interesting people that I think I've met through 10K. Yeah. I think he's funny as well too, but he's just super, super smart. That dude was at the Waste Management Open just watching golf, unbelievable, and then makes his way on over to the Super Bowl as well too. And the worst part about it, he didn't even tell us he was at the Super Bowl or Waste Management Open until like the third quarter of the Super Bowl. He just sent a picture of his seat. You're like, Sammy, what the fuck, dude? And just the chat erupts.
He did that because, like, I'm not trying to pump him up, but like genuinely, like, one of the nicest people I've ever met, and he just is never gonna brag. Like, he's just
I would have let everyone know I was going.
I would have been
play by play,
insufferable. You guys would have hated my guts more than you already do. I would have had my dick out at the Waste Management Open. You guys would have been like,
maybe he did.
What a weekend!
He did go to St. Thomas, so he probably did.
Sammy might have. Sammy's an interesting cat, but and then as well, outside of the Super Bowl, there really isn't a whole lot. This is the bad thing. Is like I titled this in this episode as well too. Super Bowl's over. What the fuck do we do now? Like, we got to watch basketball. Ugh.
College basketball and NASCAR.
March Madness. It's going to be exciting. I'm very excited.
Me and Cam look like we're NASCAR guys. Like, Renz, I don't know what you got to do to be a NASCAR guy. Maybe shave that mustache.
I kind of am a NASCAR guy.
Leave the entertainment. No,
I'm excited for Daytona.
There's a difference between being a NASCAR guy and looking like a NASCAR guy. Me and Cam look like NASCAR guys.
Yeah, I think we talked about this. I'm just like,
He's got
I
the
just
Mountain
dressed
Dew
like-
behind him. It works.
That is true.
true.
Yeah, this was last time. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Fuck. My bad. NASCAR guy.
I think, like, I'm a big football fan, but I think I'm more pumped for Daytona this weekend than I was the Super Bowl. I'm gonna have so many bets. I fucking can't.
Really
Yeah.
interesting, and I'm gonna ride your tails the entire way as well too. I'm so excited to bet. I've never bet on NASCAR. I've never watched NASCAR. I'm actually super excited to bet on it.
Cam, who you
solely
picking to
because
win?
I haven't looked into it yet. Before the Busch Clash, I was gonna pick Truex, but I don't know if he can go back to back like that. But
I'm going Elliott.
yeah, I like him. But no, we'll talk about it Thursday, but I'll have a bunch of bets.
I'm excited.
Like
It's
that.
gonna be fun. I had a birthday.
Bets. Should we share our bets of the week or what?
Yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up real quick. I went to Disney on Ice with my son on Saturday, by the way. Absolute blast. It was sick. We got to watch Frozen and Encanto, by the way. And one thing I wanted to bring up real quick. I think that Disney on Ice puts on a better show than the Timberwolves do inside of Target Center.
I wouldn't doubt
Straight
it.
up. They put a better product out there, that's
probably.
for sure. Like,
They've
I don't
probably
know.
seen it better than a Wild lately.
I was there and I was like, there's more people sitting here than a Timberwolves game. This is crazy. Also, Target Center's ass cheeks. Let's just demolish that and sell the team. It's crazy. Get rid of it.
Yeah. Speaking of ice and hockey and Disney, I went to the Wild game. I texted you guys. They stink.
They're bad.
And
They're
Fleury,
very bad.
I don't care. I talked to other people at the game. They're like, it's the defense. It's like, no, it's not. Fleury
It is
sucks.
defense. It's
He let up
defense.
5 goals, and then he's the psychopath. He breaks his stick and hucks it across the ice. I don't know how he doesn't get kicked out for that. Or at least get pulled. Obviously, this guy's got something going on.
That's kind of why hockey rules, though, is because you can do that shit and it's not a big deal.
And also, why don't they let guys fight more? There's 30 almost fights, and they're break up, and then the guys are just like, oh, okay, we're cool.
Yeah. I will say they have sucked lately, but Saturday's game was electric. I got lucky. My company sent me to a suite, so I walked into the X and walked out of the X without spending $1, and we won in a shootout. That was a good time. But otherwise, they've been awful lately.
Which, by the way, sneaky underrated player, and I'm gonna pump my own tires here, even though it really doesn't fucking matter. I've been preaching Freddie Gaudreau for the past year. Freddie Gaudreau, and as soon as we signed him, I'm like, this guy is awesome. Everyone's gonna love him. He's gonna be great. And people give him shit because Dean plays him too much or whatever. But that's because he's fucking solid. And that dude's killer in the shootout, which is surprising because he's a solid defensive guy. He's not the most offensive person in the world, but can get the job done. It's crazy how good he is in the shootout.
Also, don't quote me on this, but I think Hartman might be back. That man was buzzing on Saturday.
Yeah, who's not back? Dumba. You know who could be in, though? Patrick Kane. That's one thing that just dropped this morning.
Yep.
We don't know the validity of it, to be entirely honest with you, but there's a good shot not a good shot. The Wild have shown interest in Patrick Kane, and the best part about this is he was linked to the Rangers forever to rematch up with Artemi Panarin, scumbag. So he was supposed to link back up with them. That's not coming to fruition because Vladimir Tarasenko makes his way up to New York, scores on his first shot with the New York Rangers as well, too. Good for that guy. He's been wanting a St. Louis for the past year, so he's finally in his wish and playing well. But that means Kane is pretty limited on options on where he can end up being, and I don't think he's just going to sit and wait for Bedard, to be honest with you. I think he's going to jump at an opportunity to join any decent team that shows up any sort of interest at all. So,
You think they actually trade him though?
yes, to be honest with you, the tough part is that means we likely lose a Matt Dumba, which is fine. I've tried to be on Matt Dumba's side for this entire time. I simply cannot. He is such a dog shit defenseman. It's crazy. And which you can be I've said this before on this show. You can be a dog shit defenseman if you're putting up points, but he's not. That's where the problem is. You need to put up points in order. Like I said, Erik Karlsson is the worst defenseman I've ever seen in my entire life. He is absolute dog shit at playing defense. Erik Karlsson puts up 70 points a year. I'm not saying that Matt Dumba needs to be that guy, but 30 points, 40
what
points.
What if I propose this to you? Dumba and Greenway, and whatever you got to do, some picks maybe for Kane and Jack Johnson, and then you just make a run.
I don't want Jack Johnson.
I mean, he's old as fuck, but
I really don't want Jack Johnson.
I
don't either, just because I don't know who he is.
No, but I'd rather play one of our younger guys. I got a lot more faith in our younger guys than I do in Jack Johnson. Granted, Jack Johnson, established defenseman, yada yada yada. I'm gonna get shit for that, but I don't know. I think they would take Greenway though, just to be straight up. But Greenway has always been a player where like he needs to use his size. When he uses his size, he's fantastic. That's all he needs to do. He has the Charlie Coyle complex where like you're a strong ass dude and you're pretty tall. Fucking use it. And then when he doesn't use it, you're like, you look like shit. It's crazy. Charlie Coyle was one person who I absolutely loved. But then as years progressed, I was like, I can't fucking be on his side anymore because he just keeps doing the same shit.
I feel like he just didn't have motivation either. He just like half-assed.
I don't know. I do think Cade is a real possibility. We can't afford that salary though, so there's going to have to be some pieces that are going to be going, and they might have to retain some at some point. But I don't know how that works. I think there's other players we could take a peek at instead, but Kane would be an electric player here, just to be straight up. Like you're imagine you. This is going to sound stupid because you're going to be like, why the fuck would they put him on the second line? But imagine him with Matt Boldy. Matt Boldy can just like not be a pass guy all the time. He can start utilizing that amazing shot and those amazing hands that he has and just catches passes from Kaner all day. That sounds fucking amazing to me personally. But also imagine a top power play unit of Zuccarello, Kaprizov, Kane, Spurgeon, and then I guess Boldy would probably be the fifth one. Like that'd be a fucking all-time one.
Is Zuccarello, Kaprizov, Kane the best three that you could ever have in a shootout on the same team?
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, and that's my problem too, is when it comes to wingers, I get mixed up. I'm pretty sure I don't know who's a right winger. That's where I know Kane is a right winger, but I don't know who on our team is a right winger. I always get messed up with that stuff, but I don't know.
Zuccarello's right. I'm pretty sure Greenway's right. Foligno's left, yeah.
Which that reminds me, Mike Brown. Great question. The boy, now part of 10K Bets. We're gonna get him on here as well, too, by the way. He's one of those guys, full degenerate like us. But that reminds me, as you can still get your tickets today. Is that right, Cameron?
Yeah.
So
they're still available.
You can head over to the link that is within the 10K Takes Twitter account, Instagram, or you name it. We have the link up. You can get your tickets for as low as $49, and you can help contribute to the Cup Snake as the Minnesota Wild take on the Colorado Avalanche. TNT, it's going to be on TV. We're going to try and like poke Biz. Hey, Biz, check this out. We're drinking a fuck ton of beers and we're building out a snake. And you know it's going to get shown on there. Gretzky may even comment on it. You never know. But check it out. Tickets are available now. And I mean, Cameron, you're going to the game, right?
Yep, I'll be there.
What's the over under on your beer count? You're one who gets sloppy too.
I mean, I have to handle it though most of the time. Fuck.
Yeah.
What would you set it for me?
I'm gonna say like 9.
I was gonna say 7.5. I think that's the line that I sit at. 7.5. I think is a safe one.
I do have Thursday off. I would say 7.5. I take the over, but like 8.
Okay, because we're talking that's like $90 a beer alone right there.
Yeah. Can we talk about that? How atrocious the beer prices are,
buddy,
yeah.
at the XL Energy Center, and then those fuckers, you give them your card or whatever, and they turn that thing over, and then they just like, how much do you want to tip us? And I'm like, I want to tip you anything. Hey, I just paid fucking 2 beers was $28. I'm not tipping you anything.
All
you did was open it.
I know exactly what you're talking about too.
And there's not an option. It's like, do you want to do 10, 15, or 20? I'm like, I even had to ask. I'm like, where's the 0? They're like, oh, you have to just hit like other and then 0. I'm like,
you went as far as to asking where no tip was. You could have just tipped.
I told the guy straight to his face. I said, I'm not tipping you anything. All you did was open a beer. I said, I would have gladly went back behind you, grabbed it myself, and opened it myself to avoid this awkwardness that we're having right now. And he's like, yeah.
I want to give you shit. But I'm also one of those people. It's like, I really don't want to tip, but I'm also too much of a pussy to just not tip.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. Like if the beers were like $10 even a piece, like at a sporting event, that's reasonable. But those fucking things are like $14.
Can
that's bananas.
Bossman and I found a hack last game we went to. We went to the game against the Flyers. We got in there right away because we were filming a promo for the Cup Snake, and we went straight to the bar. And I ordered a Bud Light, and it was like what, $12. And she's like, you don't want to do that. I'm like, why? Well, for the first like 30 to 45 minutes, you can get 2 rail drinks. They're buy one, get one.
Oh,
so I got 2 rail drinks for $11. I'm like, yeah, done.
Oh, that's a good deal.
100%. Can I confess something real quick that I'm kind of embarrassed about? Grievance on myself. The pizza lady showed up with my pizza. Like this was like 2 weeks ago. And she had the little card swiper thing because they didn't take cards over the website, which I thought was very strange. So she shows up, she swipes my card, and I was like, oh, I got cash in my wallet. I'll tip her with cash, right? And so I selected no tip on that one. So that transaction's already done on the little swipe right. I opened my wallet and I was like, holy shit, I only have a 20 in here. I was like, and the pizza place is 2 blocks from my house. I gave her $20 because I was in such a panic. I was like, hey, here you go. My pizza costs $18. I gave her $20 because I was like, it's the same thing. I'm a huge pussy. I'm not gonna be like, oh, sorry. Oh shit. My bad.
That's tough though. Like pizza delivery, you have to tip them.
You have to.
Which, yeah, I get that, but I also didn't want to give $20. I thought
I probably would have done the same.
I thought I had like $8 in my wallet or something. I'll give that. That's a nice little tip. That's a super nice tip.
You just got to eat that one and move on.
Yeah, so $20 down the drain. But
yeah.
Anyways, picks of the week. We can give them out as we head into our Thursday. We don't need to talk about the Wild. Super Bowl was a blast. We had fun. We lost money. We gained money. An octopus was hit, which is bonkers. But so, Renzi boy, your bet leading up to Thursday when we go live again. Make sure you tune back in here as well too. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Comment along. We want to have you guys be part of the show. Mikey Cody jumped in here as well too. Talk shit about the Black Eyed Peas. Told us to drink a bunch of beers. We want to get you guys involved. We want to hear your sports bets. So make sure you head on over there. But Renzi boy, what is your bet?
So as now that football's over, I really got to start focusing on college basketball. I was looking into all that shit today, and I haven't really been paying attention. I noticed Alabama is the #1 ranked team in the country. It's not really a great pick because I don't know much about them, but Alabama's a football school. And I don't see, like, when the brackets come out, I don't see Alabama being the 1 overall seed. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
So on Wednesday, they're playing Tennessee at Tennessee. The line isn't out yet, but I'm going to let you know right now, I'm going to bet against Alabama. I'm going to take Tennessee. I'm sure they'll be the underdog, either the points, depending on what the spread is, or just straight up, depending on the value. But
I actually love it. Tennessee's at home. They were as high as #2 in the country at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, that's what I saw. They've got a great record.
They're coming off 2 losses to Vanderbilt and Missouri. Like, they're pissed. I don't think there's any way they lose to Bama at home.
Yeah. So that's the line's not out yet, but I'm going to take Tennessee for sure on Wednesday.
I love that. I'll go into mine. Mine is actually tomorrow night. I have Providence money line at Creighton, or at home against Creighton. Sorry, Creighton's 2-point favorites, and it just doesn't make sense to me because home court advantage is massive in the NCAA, especially when you have 2 ranked teams. And Providence has not lost a home game all season, no matter who they played. So Providence money line, they're underdogs. You get good value for it. That's kind of a lock.
Also, that reminds me of the Minnesota Cup, which we have the video probably coming out here any day now as well, too. So you can go back and watch how terrible we did. But me, Veach, and Mr. Connor Beaupre had a little conversation as well, too, as regards to some of the best, like, mascots in sports. Providence Friars is one of the sickest, like, just setups ever. I don't know if, Cam, you're a hockey guy. I'm sure you've seen their college hockey jerseys. They have, like, the skating Friar as their main logo. It's so badass. I fucking love that.
The Friars are sick.
But speaking of that, hockey picks, we got to go into this as well, too. Hockey picks. I, as you guys know, love the Boston Bruins. Tomorrow, the Boston Bruins take on the Dallas Stars, and as well, too, the Bruins, absolute fucking wagon, plus 238 for -1.5 on that spread. I fucking plus 238 on one of the best teams in hockey right now over the Dallas. Dallas is still decent, don't get me wrong, but Boston is an absolute fucking wagon. So 1.5 plus 238, Boston Bruins over Dallas Stars. Lock it in.
Love it.
I like that too. I actually have a hockey pick too. I'm going to bet against the Minnesota Wild on whatever day that is. Wednesday. Cup State Day.
Yeah. You guys are going, right?
Because I can't make it, but the Wild, they're so shitty to bet on. They're always favored, and they have the worst. They're always 1.5 point favorites.
Yep.
And then but they never fucking win. And then you try to bet them straight up to win, and it's horrible value. They're like the worst team to bet on ever. So it's tough to get into.
That's the only issue is the money line for Colorado or whatever is going to pay out like plus like 3 something just because the Wild are sitting in such a poor spot.
But I'll probably take them minus. I'm sure they'll be -1.5. I'll probably take Colorado -1.5.
I'll say, keep in mind though, if Gustafson is playing, that changes things a little bit. Gus is on an absolute roll. So,
Joe,
because that other guy stinks.
All right, solid. I mean, I can't even combat it. You're right. That's just straight up about it. All right, well, hey, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of 10K Bets Live. We will be back again on Thursdays, Mondays, Thursdays. We'll be talking sports bets. We'll be talking with you guys Give us your picks. Head over to YouTube, head over to Facebook, smash that like button. We want to hear from you guys. We want to get your guys' picks. We want you guys to tell us that we're fucking stupid. That's what the show is all about. We want to say we appreciate you guys tuning in. Anybody that did, we love you, and hopefully you guys have yourselves a good night.